suppose, about how all of that was going to play out. Because even on Saturday, Le Parisien, who it speculated Valérie Trierweiler or her people were kind of speaking to over the course of the 2 or 3 weeks of uncertainty, they said... it's all over, c'est fini. François Hollande and Valérie Trierweiler, that was in a headline. But then the Élysée Palace denied it. So there was all of this uncertainty, even this weekend, over how this would play out, even though everybody was suspecting it was over.
Would she behave, or would she, really seize her moment tell her side?
Because some advisors at the Élysée are leaked
Hell
as having
hath no
said...
fury in all of
that's
that,
right,
James.
that she's a bit of a loose cannon, described in the French as like a grenade that has been, what would you say, opened up. That's the fear, that she could cause a lot of damage to François Hollande. But other reports are saying that it's been quite amicable.
Well, she handled herself with dignity, I would say. What I found really sad was reading about all the staff who have just kind of dropped her like a hot brick. I mean, her bodyguard has gone with her, but as soon as they land in France,
well,
he's
indeed,
off.
the website, the Élysée Palace website, was quite an indication of that. Let's take a look online, because almost instantly her online footprint, you could say, just disappeared. The Élysée Palace completely deleted
page not found. That's harsh.
Her official page very quickly. Her official Twitter account was also taken offline instantly. So that was all interpreted, indeed, as being quite harsh, as was the wording of the statement.
I was going to say, I've heard of being dumped by text message or email, but imagine being dumped by an 18-word press release.
That's right. Now, apparently this was all hammered out over lunch on Thursday, but she did not agree to sign a joint statement with François Hollande. And the way that he then worded it, and I'll read it out, I am making it known that I have ended my shared life with Valérie Trierweiler. This in a conversation with the AFP news agency. It wasn't an Élysée Palace press release. It was a personal statement given to the AFP news agency. This in his bid to constantly insist that it's a private life issue, not a public statement. But in any case, that wording was really criticised for the Paris mayoral candidate for the political right in France. She described it as almost being like a letter of a firing, a sort of a letter of like you're being let go by your boss, right? Another right-wing politician.
I'm ending up my what was the word he used?
I'm ending my common life, I believe he said, my shared life with Valérie Trierweiler. But it was also the fact that he said, I am choosing to do this myself, right?
Rather than we've decided to go our separate ways.
That's right. But you could also say that she didn't want to sign a joint statement, so perhaps he ended up having to word it in the first person as opposed to we. He had to say I. But he could have perhaps chosen a more delicate way of saying it, like our common life has ended or something like that, without saying that he took the decision.
Well, it's really difficult to know, isn't it? Because he had to do it. He was on a deadline. He had to do it before he goes to Washington.
That's right, on the 11th of February. And also it appears that she did want to go ahead with this trip to India.
I wonder who he'll take, by the way.
Well, I think he's going on his own. He's definitely going on his own.
You think he'll be going on his own?
For sure, I'm pretty sure. Take a look at this in the Irish Times. François Hollande repudiated Valérie Trierweiler with one sentence. That's journalist Laura Marlowe's reading of things, mirroring what a lot of other people in France have been saying, that it almost sounded like a repudiation, like she was being, a firing letter. Shades of the monarchy, she said too. And in her article, she compares it to Henry VIII sending Anne Boleyn to the Tower of London.
Oh, it's hardly that harsh. She got her head chopped off, James.
But
I'm not sure it's in that league.
It's not quite that bad, but there have
maybe
been
Anne
those
of Cleves,
criticisms.
who got sent off to her own palace somewhere.
Right. Elements of that, but he did get a lot of criticism for it. Look how it was interpreted by the front page of the New York Post. Pack your baguettes. First lady is French toast. Now, that's
maybe she'll go on
tabloid.
to have a big career in charity or something now. Who knows?
Well, we'll see. And indeed, she did, as we just saw in those images, make quite the effort to put her best foot forward to maintain that trip to India, appearing with the world's cameras indeed trained on that car, much apparently to the discontent of the Élysée Palace, who had advised her against going on that trip.
Well, maybe she felt she couldn't let them down.
That's right, and I think she felt that it had been penned in for a long time. She has been making an effort to communicate on her own behalf via Twitter. All of my gratitude to the extraordinary personnel of the Élysée Palace. I will never forget their devotion, or the emotion at the moment of my departure.
We're running out of time. I want to talk about your last story.
Yes.
We've had enough of Valerie now for the moment.
Right.
As has François Hollande, apparently. Over in Madagascar, the new president has been doing a bit of cut and paste, it seems.
Isn't this extraordinary, right? Now, his name is, as most Malagasy surnames, it's about 20 syllables, so I won't even try. But in any case, he did appear to plagiarise Nicolas Sarkozy's a speech from Nicolas Sarkozy's presidential campaign. Now, Henri Rajoelinaramimama Pianamina he was sworn in as president, and in his inaugural address, he just completely copied and pasted a paragraph from one of Nicolas Sarkozy's speeches in 2007.
Oh, obviously a big fan.
It said, "I ask my friends to leave me free to go to others, free to approach the person who was never my friend, who never belonged to our clan, to our political family, and sometimes even fought against us." A pretty specifically worded paragraph that somehow crept into his inaugural speech.
Who picked up on this? Was this
Nicolas
Sarkozy's people?
It was a local newspaper, and I think we have the front cover here somewhere, or at least I had it earlier. In any case, they were not too impressed. There it is. La Gazette de la Grande Île, the Gazette of the Big Island. Sarkozy copied and pasted.
Well, he's not the first politician to be caught out doing that, is he?
And apparently Sarkozy used to copy and paste his own speeches as well. So,
well, you're allowed to copy your own speeches, aren't you?
Maybe I'll just copy and paste Media Watch for the last 2 weeks. It's all been pretty repetitive.
No, not at all, James. Right. It's always a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Laura.
James Creedon there. Now, it's time for our focus report. And France and China are marking 50 years of diplomatic ties this Monday. Part of the celebrations include a new